Hi, this is Chris from C Sports with a preview of the Eastern Conference first-round playoff matchup between the New York Islanders and Florida Panthers. This postseason matchup features a clash between teams headed by two of the winningest coaches in NHL history. Barry Trotz of the Islanders, who won a Stanley Cup with the Washington Capitals, ranks fourth all-time with 485 victories. New York will be relying on a sound team defense and the offensive creativity of Mathew Barzal against the Panthers. Not to be outdone, Florida is led by Joel Quenneville, a three-time Stanley Cup champion who is second all-time with 925 wins, trailing only Scotty Bowman. Quenneville's squad will be led by talented forwards Alexander Barkov and Jonathon Huberdeau. Can the Florida Panthers tighten up defensively and get the elite goaltending from Sergei Bobrovsky that will be necessary to secure the franchise's first playoff series victory since 1996? Will the Islanders be able to generate sufficient offense to counter Florida's skilled group of forwards? In the regular season, the Islanders posted 80 points, good for sixth spot in the competitive Metropolitan Division. New York is the seventh-seeded team in the Eastern Conference. The Islanders were really struggling when the NHL paused, losing 7 straight. They are still holding a wild card spot, in large part to a terrific start to the season. It would have been even a battle until the end as to whether or not the Islanders would have made the playoffs or not. Florida finished in 4th spot in the Atlantic Division with 78 points and entered the playoffs as the 10th ranked team in the East. The Panthers were not in a playoff spot when the season was postponed after winning only 4 games over their final 16 contests. The last 13 games were going to be a grind to make the postseason. Offensively, the Islanders were 25th in scoring on 5-on-5 situations with 126 goals. We know Barry Trotz coaches a defensively responsible team, which is definitely not the worst thing in the postseason, but the Islanders are a poor offensive team. When they were knocked out of last season's playoffs by the Hurricanes, it was because they scored only 5 goals in 4 games. The addition of Jean-Gabriel Pageau should help. He did score a goal in each of his first 2 games with New York. The team also has one of the most creative forwards in the game in Barzal. The Islanders will need Brock Nelson, Josh Bailey, Jordan Eberle, or Anders Lee to pick up the slack and contribute offensively. The Panthers scored the 5th most even-strength goals per game and are at their best when they're unleashing an offensive on all full offensive firepower. They will get tested against the stingy Islanders. The Panthers had 5 20-goal scorers with Brett Connolly scoring 19. Barkov is legitimate number 1 center, with Huberdeau, Mike Hoffman, Evgeny Divanov, and Frank Vetrano providing additional offense. Defensively, the Islanders gave up 190 goals, 2.79 goals against average, which was good for 6th in the league. The return of top-pairing defenseman Adam Pelech is a big plus for the Islanders. Ryan Pollock was having a breakout season, while Johnny Boychuk, Nick Leddy, and Andy Green all provide a veteran presence. This is a solid but not spectacular group who provides little offense, which puts even more pressure on an already underwhelming group of forwards. Despite the reputation of being a sound defensive team, the Islanders seem characteristic of a bend but don't break team on defense. That's a term often applied to football. They allow the 2nd most shot attempts, 5-on-5, 5th most scoring chances, and 4th most high danger chances. That being said, this is a team that was able to stymie the Penguins last year. And Florida, while not as good as Pittsburgh, is going to rely on its offense. So, can the Islanders contain the Panthers? The Panthers struggled defensively, ranking 26th in the league, allowing 226 goals or 3.25 goals per game. Given how ordinary the Panthers' defensive personnel is, it puts even greater pressure on the forwards to generate sufficient offense to overcome mediocre goaltending and subpar defensive play. Aaron Ekbald is the Panthers' true number 1 defenseman. He did have 41 points, but always seems capable of more. Regardless, he does have great size and tremendous skating ability, with plenty of offensive ability and hockey sense. Shoot the puck with aplomb and can quarterback a power play. It would help the Panthers greatly if somebody else on the blue line picked up their play, whether it be Mackenzie Wheeler, Keith Yandel, or Mike Matheson. One of those players needs to provide a spark in the playoffs. When we look at goaltending, Semyon Varlamov and Thomas Greiss formed a solid goaltending duel for New York. Varlamov had a slightly better save percentage and goals against average and also played more games, so he will likely be the starter in Game 1. Varlamov owns a big frame, which he uses effectively to cover a lot of the net. His fast reflexes and a good glove hand, and he moves well in the crease. He displays the calm demeanor required to thrive between the pipes in the NHL. He is not, however, the best at handling the puck. But make no mistake, Trotz has complete confidence in Greiss should the Islanders have to make a goaltending change. After splurging in free agency to the tune of 7 years of $70 million, the Panthers didn't exactly get what they expected out of the 31-year-old Sergei Bobrovsky this season. He finished with a .900 save percentage, his worst since 2011 and 12, his second season in the league, and he recorded just one shutout after having 9 the previous season. Bobrovsky had earned a reputation for playoff collapses, but he bucked the trend with a sensational postseason in 2019, and the Russian does have extensive experience against the Islanders as a longtime Metro Division rival. In 27 career games against the Islanders, Bobrovsky is 16-10-0 with a .928 save percentage and 2.18 goals against average. When we look at special teams, the Panthers had the 10th best power play, operating at a 21.3% success clip, while the Islanders languished in 24th at 17.3. Both teams were in the middle of the pack when it came to penalty killing. Given their power play, we'll give the Panthers an edge in the special teams department. The Islanders get the Florida Panthers, whom they swept in the regular season. The Panthers heavily invested last off-season with Bobrovsky and coach Joel Quenneville, their most expensive off-season ever. But not all went according to plan, and Florida was in danger of missing the playoffs yet again. The Panthers are playing with house money here. These are two clearly flawed teams, and this series represents a classic battle between a tight defensive team with limited scoring against an offensively gifted club with defensive deficiencies. If New York can get their offense going, it could spell trouble for Florida. However, that would involve a complete turn in the team's track record under Trotz. Given their track record, however, the Islanders as a team are committed to playing a grinding defensive style. They will battle and make the opposition work. The Panthers need to match that intensity, and Bobrovsky must elevate his play substantially. He did have a breakout playoff performance last season, so the confidence should be there. The Panthers need a better commitment to team defense and a goaltender to bail out a defensively weak team. That's asking too much given the uncertainty of the playoffs. The Islanders are a disciplined team and will draw upon last year's success in the postseason. It's a tough call, but I am picking the Islanders to win in 5 games. Thanks for listening, and please share a comment and your own prediction about this series. And remember, subscribe to get in touch and to have updates on C Sports.